Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is September the 22nd. It is a Monday. It's currently 12:56 p.m. If you do not know who I am, I provide life coaching sessions, readings, advice, and the list does go on. I go by being a divination practitioner, holistic consultant, multifaceted advisor, and many more things. If you come across this video, you may be able to resonate with something within here, so just only take what resonates. Right now, I just want to see what's going on in your life. Maybe I can help you. Maybe you can realize some things and help yourself. But regardless, we're getting a message, okay? Past, present, future energy could be significant, and be mindful that this is a timeless reading, so it may even be able to resonate with you in the future. Or it may also confirm things of the past. Okay? But let's see. Taurus energy is significant. Giving someone space or giving... Yeah. Some of you guys are finding your way back home to yourself after a period of destruction, chaos, upheaval, doubt, anger, trials and tribulations. Okay. What is going on in the collective's energy? What is the message here for the collective? Two is very significant. We got nourish. So you could be nourishing yourself, or you're encouraged to, whether it's your mind, body, and soul. I'm seeing self-growth, self-focused, and soul-finding. So either you're operating in these energies, doing things that can equal up to growth or being focused or soul-finding, or this is to come in the future. Or like I said, you're just being encouraged to start operating in this energy. See, I knew I wanted to get a message that was for self, because this seems like a very selfish time to be self-full is what I'm getting. Okay. We got conflicted. Decisions, hot and cold, and multiple choices. Maybe you're conflicted between decisions. Maybe you're hot and cold when it comes to certain choices or decisions. And maybe this is because, like I said, you're needing to nourish yourself. Any more messages for the collective? Legal issues, living in the moments, self-love could be significant. We got stalker. Someone may be watching you, and they may be keeping themselves under the radar. They could just be watching, or just obsessed, or this is just stalking. Okay, maybe this is because of, your energy, your aura, who you are, how radiant your spirit lights, regardless of what energy you're in. Because half the time y'all are probably living in your own head, that you don't realize that your energy is still magnetizing or very beautiful. So people could just be stalking you. Now, I don't want to look at everything in a negative perspective, right? But I'm going to confirm more of this stalker energy. But any more messages here for the collective? Some of y'all, your gifts are really, really potent. That's why you're picking up on certain things energetically. Some of y'all may be picking up that people are watching you or whatever the case may be, and that's because they are. People could be just watching you getting your life together. They could be stalking you because maybe you're just loving yourself, and that required you to maybe pull away from certain people. If you're wanting to get a message out of the collective, make sure you are double tapping the screen. These messages are for anyone who's following, double tapping the screen, contributing to the live in any type of way. If you want to be able to stay for the full message, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. All right, any more messages here for the collective? All right, we got releasing. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all have this crazy ex that's obsessed and they just won't let go. I feel like this is somebody who's very crazy over you, or they're probably known as a person that's crazy. Okay, like I said, confirmation, you've released certain people. So the individuals who you probably walked away from, moved on from, or that you are letting go or let go, they're watching you. For some reason, they can't stop watching you. I don't know why. But yeah, confirmation for that because the releasing energy, came out. But anyways, aside from that, you guys could be letting go of things, moving on, and walking away. And I feel like this is you nourishing yourself, finding yourself, being more focused, and creating growth. Yeah, because I feel like some of you guys, you're tired of the reckless love. You're tired of the reckless SEX, You don't want to keep causing harm to your mind, body, or soul. So I feel like you're doing the work that's necessary, or you're being encouraged to. Sometimes when you find yourself on this path of doing what's best for you, sometimes you get a little distracted and to go backwards. Any more messages here for the collective? Divination abuser. If you do divination, make sure you take breaks, okay? Be mindful that these are tools. You don't necessarily need divination, right? All of the answers are within. All right, any more messages for the collective? Be mindful of people trying to get you out of your character, because at the end of the day, we can't blame any and everyone else. All we have to do is look at ourselves, okay? And know that we can't control anyone else, but we can control ourselves, okay? Dirt digging. Do not be swindled into trying to find dirt on people, all this stuff. By all means, I'm not here to tell you what to do in your own life, because it's your own life. You're the creator of your life. You do what you want to do. You have free will. But ask yourself, is this serving me or my highest good, or is this possibly going backwards? You can find healthier ways to stand up for yourself. You can find healthier ways to, use your throat chakra to speak up. Now, if this is not your energy, this is somebody else's energy, which means somebody could be digging dirt on you. They could be trying to find some type of info or whatever that can have something to do with poor reputation or whatever the case may be. Things that you probably could be embarrassed about, or just dirt digging, it could be anything. Any more messages here for the collective? If you're just now coming in, welcome in. If you're wanting to get on the list, my payments are pinned on my profile. Okay, this is a collective, it's not a personal, so only take what resonates. Every message may not be for you. Okay, but if you're wanting to get a message out of the collective, you have to be double tapping the screen or sending gifts. All right, any more messages here for the collective? We got cog blocking. See, some of y'all are being in abstinence from sexual relations and other things like that. Like I said, I feel like the purpose or the main thing is just because, like I said, you're growing. You're more focused on self and you're finding yourself, right? We can confirm more of that energy later. Any more messages here? Or you have some people who are cock blocking like this. If this is not your energy and you're not doing this to protect yourself, this is somebody else who may be cock blocking. Okay, we got mistakes. This image is very significant. A pier or whatever the case may be, a body of water. Okay, divinations, candles, fireflies, or like lights. Some type of lights that usually are possibly for decoration. Maybe cyberbullying, a target. Maybe somebody is a target, or maybe just a target significant, whether it's in the space of a person or like the bullseye. Something is significant. I'm seeing some type of staff or this shaft. I don't know, but this long pole, it's not really a pole, it's a stick. But these things are very significant. Whether you see a person walking with a cane, it still resembles it, okay? But something about that is significant. Golf could be significant, or sports. Birds, like chickens and roosters, or any type of birds, really. And pine trees. Pine cone trees are significant. All right, being in solitude is also significant. All right, I feel like some of you guys may feel that you've made mistakes in your life. You could have lost yourselves as you were on this journey. At least that's what you felt like, a lost soul. All right, maybe you've seen yourself as the victim instead of the victor, right? That's why we have to shift our perspective. Instead of feeling like, oh, everyone is out to get me, I'm always going through things, we can shift our perspective and know that our lessons, it was just something that we were meant to come into, especially if we did not know any better. But now you know better, okay? So those L's are not losses, they're lessons. And lessons are just as grand as blessings. Some of you guys could feel misunderstood. That's probably why you like to be in your own energy. Or maybe you don't feel like there's people like you around, but that's another limiting belief. There's plenty of love to go around. There's plenty of good people in the world. You know, a lot of times we just need to check our own energy. Because a lot of times we're the ones that are creating these negative outlooks, and, you know, we're the ones that are making these choices or mistakes. You know, nobody else can make these things for you. So instead of pointing the finger everywhere else, let's just direct it to us. Be kind and gentle with yourself, but taking accountability, right? Any more messages for the collective? But like, y'all are doing good if you're nourishing yourselves. Like, you know, give yourself some... You can kind of be hard on yourself at times. So just take into account that you actually are doing things that most people don't do. And I don't mean to mention other people, because it really don't matter what everybody else is doing. But I'm seeing fake flexing. Now, this could be in a way that's encouraging you to act rich, right? Act fancy. Show off, even if you don't have it, because you're creating space to where this can exist instead of operating from a space of lack and everything else, right? Now, another way this could be said is literally somebody could be fake flexing, but I don't really care to give that type of message, because I don't care what anybody else is doing in their life. But if this is you, maybe use this in a way that's affirmative and more positive, okay? Somebody could have left you hanging as well. Maybe you feel like you didn't receive any closure Or this could be you. Maybe you left people hanging and they feel like you didn't give them closure. Maybe you went into no contact. Maybe you left someone on red. The color red could be significant. When it comes to the chakras, the color red can also tie to the root chakra. Okay. But a lot of these energies could be your own, or it could be someone else's that's in your energy. And in your energy doesn't have to mean you're talking to them, but somehow, you know, just in their energy or in your energy. Okay, any more messages here for the collective? Yeah, so some of you guys, you're still trying to heal. Be mindful of saying trying, because it's either you're doing or you're not doing it at all. So like I said, some of y'all, you be your worst critic. Give yourself your credits. Okay, nothing is ever too small to be looked at as an accomplishment. Okay, change is change. Congratulate yourself, appreciate yourself, love yourself. And I feel like that's the journey that you guys are on. You're on a self-love, self-growth, self-focus, soul-finding journey. And as we do readings, of course, any and everything could come out, but you got to remember, we're just speaking about your life, right? This is not a personal, it's a collective, so only take what resonates for you. But it's just speaking of the things that are going to your life, whether you indulged in reckless sex or not, whether you abuse divination or not. Don't be scared of a message. A lot of times it's just the reality of what's really going on. Okay. Some things could give you a heads up, so that you can possibly avoid certain things. Because sometimes we didn't have to go through that. We didn't have to go through that, you know? Something about low energy. I know we believe that other people drain our energy. And from a spiritual perspective, you got to remember that a lot of things were created by human beings. Their imagination, their own thoughts, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times we're not fully in our authenticity, and we believe in other people's beliefs that were projected upon us, and we're operating from a space of trauma. So if you ask me, I think we should take a closer look at the things that we think and how we like live our lives, you know what I'm saying? Because beliefs, they aren't factual. Sometimes you can believe in things that you don't know to be true, right? That's why people like to say trust more in your knowing rather than beliefs. But once again, I'm not here to project on you, just giving a message, so only take what resonates, right? Something about partying could be significant, or a toxic lifestyle. You don't have to look at it as toxic, but with this energy here, maybe this is like what it gives, like toxic lifestyle. Okay, specifically when it comes to like the drinking, the partying, and everything like that. Maybe a divine feminine indulged in this type of stuff, or maybe you could just be a divine feminine, and maybe people in your energy has this toxic lifestyle when it comes to drinking and everything else. Surround yourself with people who are like on the same level as you. Like if you're gonna become close to people, practice the law of detachment. Do your shadow work, do your inner child healing. You know, because a lot of times the world on the outside is just a reflection of the world on the inside. A lot of times you can have a more positive life if you didn't have such a negative perspective, or if you didn't go through all of those things that you didn't really heal from, you know? Indigenous tribes could be significant. Acrobats, or I can't really think of what this is called, but when they get on these cloths, this is very significant. Somebody is watching you heavily. This most definitely could be somebody that's just into you, interested in you. Most definitely is giving in a romantic way, but for some of you guys, it doesn't have to be. It can most definitely be platonic or strangers or whatever. Drinks are significant. Drinks with lemon inside, or like special made drinks, like if it needs fire and everything. Yeah.
You want some honey bun donut?
No. So something like that. Okay, money is also very significant. I'm seeing like over $80 or something. Like, yeah. Sage as well could be significant. So you may be coming from a time of, like I said, upheaval, chaos, destruction, self-doubt, you know, anger and all these things, and it's slowly transforming, getting transmuted, shifting, changing, right, into healing and coming into calmer waters within the mind, body, and soul. The energy can change. Like I said, this energy is based on you, your choices, your beliefs, you know. Sometimes you can dibble and dabble into things that are not good for you again. But for now, I'm seeing that you guys are taking the necessary steps, or you're encouraged to, when it comes to growth, being more focused, self-focused, and, you know, when it comes to soul finding. Okay? So I said that I was going to confirm 2 cards in the deck, which was cock blocking and I think I said I was going to confirm stalker. All right. Confirm stalker. We got bankrupt. Then I just got somebody stalking them checks. When that money coming in, I need to pay these bills type stuff. But yeah, stalkering could be in any and every way. You can look at it metaphorically as well. This could be your energy, or it could be someone else's. We already know what stalker mean, right? So just take that message how it resonates. On the back, we got jackpot. So this is your confirmation that money is going to be coming in, okay? I'm seeing you playing the lottery and winning something, or I'm seeing you like becoming rich, or this could be from an inheritance, or this could be receiving money from like unexpectedly. Confirm cock blocking. Oh, wait. Okay. Did I say I was going to confirm cock blocking? So some of y'all, for people who like left you hanging or whatever the case may be, you could be like, if they left you on red, or if they ghosted you or whatever, and they're trying to come back, you could literally be giving them the cold shoulder or reverse psychology on there. Okay, confirm cock blocking. Yeah, we got intuition. The things that you need to keep away from your energy, like trust your intuition, okay? We got cock blocking. Now, this could be in a sexual way, or this could be in other ways. Like I said, you can apply it metaphorically. This says heart song, telepathy, and inner knowing. On the back, we got breaking point. So some of you guys could have reached your breaking point, or you're being encouraged to use your intuition when it comes to like what you should nip in the bud, or what should be the final straw, or like what you should give a limit to, right? This gives complete stop, right? But this talks about limits. So you'll just apply it to how it fits for you. Okay, the name John could be significant. If you're wanting to cope with things that are going on in your life, you'll always come back to still feeling helpless, hopeless, lacking faith, etc. If you keep trying to use substances or certain beverages to help you out of a certain energy, you have to pour into yourself. You have to do the work that's necessary. All of this drinking and indulging in substances, that's not going to do anything. You're still going to feel incomplete. There's going to be a void. You're still going to feel all those ways. So the thing that you're supposed to do is give yourself enlightenment. Heal the mind, body, and soul. Not keep doing the same things, right? That are clearly not even helping your mind, body, and soul. So how is it really going to help you? All of it is temporary, but I'm sure you know that by now. I'm sure you're over 18. But but that can also be other people that are in your energy. Maybe they're using certain things to cope, and that brings me back to connect with people who are not indulging in these type of things, right? Connect with people who are actually doing something with their life, because energy is contagious, right? Are you around people who you don't mind picking up habits on? Because maybe you're going to be around somebody who's a go-getter, you know, getting it done, or blah blah this and that. Or maybe you're around somebody who is not a go-getter. They're lazy, they're not doing anything with their life, they're indulging in substances. So just be mindful of the people who you're in close perimeters to, and that you're actually becoming attached to, or you know, whatever the case may be. Regardless, we don't want to be attached, okay? Remember, I don't chase, I attract, okay? And confirmation that some of you guys are withdrawn a bit. So like I said, a little solitude can help, you know, taking breaks from people who may have hurt you, or whatever the case may be. If you want to cut them off, then that's your choice. If you just want to take a break and limit certain things, then do what you feel. But I feel like you do get into solitary. You may feel lonely. You could be single, but I'm just seeing that you're withdrawn, okay? Maybe you are looked at as the black sheep, the outcast, the underdog. But don't worry. This is all about building that relationship and connection with self, not trying to find it in everybody else, because I feel like that's how you're going to get disappointed every time. So either accept people's flaws or release them from your energy so you don't keep getting disappointed, or help yourself to not be so disappointed. Like giving yourself enlightenment, maybe getting into the psychology of everything. Okay. Well, that was some messages with the oracles. Let's get a tarot message out here. That was a little bit of what's going on in your life. Now, these tarot messages could for sure add on, but let's just see what messages here for the collective. 3 of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Capricorn, and or Virgo. Working together, collaboration, okay? Learning something from someone, teaching something to someone. This could be what's going on in your day-to-day life, or this is what's to come, or maybe something about this that happened in the past could be significant. All right? Tell me more about this 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, see, some of you guys got some new ideas. Maybe there's some new communication that's going to come into play. An air sign could be significant, or an intellectual individual. This could be someone that's young. Okay, this can also be a child. Maybe you as a child, when you were a child, or maybe in the present time, a child could be significant. All right, the page talks about messages. Pages are the messengers. Okay, so this could be a message of thoughts, communication, mentality, intellect, the mind. And it's being confirmed with 3 of Pentacles, which I said it talks about 3 is creativity or coming together. And with the Pentacle energy here, the Earth energy put together, it's just collaboration, working with someone, right? So maybe you're being encouraged to work with people like who have similar who it will benefit you if you guys work together. Maybe you have the ideas and maybe they have the money, or maybe both of you guys have different things to bring to the table and you can work together, right? Yeah. Don't be holding certain things in. Speak your mind, speak your truth. Indulge in the things that you want to indulge in, because you could low-key start disliking other people who may be going for their dreams and goals, which it doesn't make sense, because you have the opportunity to do the same. Maybe some of you guys need to stop taking on the responsibilities of things that are literally not your responsibility. That's why you're so drained. Some of you guys could be indulging in things that are just too much. It may be stressful, it may be a burden, or maybe you've experienced this, so your energy is all like chaotic and everything like that. But I feel like that's because you're needing to learn the lesson of to, you know, put some of these down. Don't try to juggle all of them at once, right? Work smarter, not harder. So I feel like that's probably why some of you guys could have your attitudes or you're clashing with other people, because I mean, personality clashes and different beliefs and all of these things. And maybe even what's going on the inside. Because like I said, the reflection of the world on the outside is just a reflection of what's going on the inside. So like I said, necessary healing and letting go. Because you're holding on to something too tightly. Maybe due to lack of finances, having a lack mindset. Not taking on these opportunities that are literally all around you. It could cause some type of anger or stagnancy or whatever the case may be. But I feel like it all depends on how you look at something. Confirm the Four of Pentacles. Some of y'all got some ideas or something that you need to release, honey. Stop it. You holding on to something a little too tight. Some of y'all could be budgeting. You could be saving your money. You could be holding on to your coins or whatever, so you can save up for huge purchases or whatever the case may be. But let go. Don't hold on too tightly to certain people or relationships as well, because some people, they are in your life temporarily, because just based on our own free will and how we feel our lives should be, sometimes we feel like, okay, I'm going to cut this person off, or okay, I'm going to do this, or maybe someone leaves out of your life from their own choices. Whatever it may be, right? But the Four of Pentacles does talk about budgeting. It's earth energy. So, of course, we're talking about finances, prosperity, earthly matters. But it can also be looked at in other senses, with you just holding on to something too tightly. And the Five of Cups that came out, which talks about dwelling on relationships that didn't work out, or dwelling within your more depressional emotions, right? Sorrow, sadness, grief. So you could, like I said, be in this stage of healing and mourning things, relationships that didn't work out, or people who passed away. Whatever it is, your emotions are still not the best. They're getting better, but they're not where they could be just yet. And don't beat yourself up about it. I feel like that's because you're just actively healing. You're not going to heal overnight, especially because a lot of times it can also be a mind thing, you know? So be more positive within the mind. Don't see people as working against you. See people as trying to work with you. Heal whatever loss or sorrow that you've been experiencing, because I feel like you're still holding on to maybe a grudge or maybe something that doesn't feel good. Okay? And that's probably why you show up in the world with an attitude or this and that, and that goes the same for other people. That's why when y'all come together, it's just a bunch of chaos or fights or all this stuff. Confirm the Five of Wands. Yeah, somebody loves arguing or all this other stuff. It makes them feel good. Like, so remember I had told y'all earlier, like, be mindful of people trying to get you out of your character and all of these things. Be mindful, because sometimes life is a game to people, right? So just make sure you check your own energy at the door, because once again, we can't control any and everybody else. But I feel like these challenges, these obstacles, all right, these highs and lows are really just helping shape you into the version of yourself that you're going to be in the future, which is a person that's more put together, more stern, more trusting in themselves, more confident, right? So I feel like that's really what's happening within your own journey. You're learning how to network for some of you guys. For others of you, you're learning how to step more out of your comfort zone. You're learning how to understand and accept people. You're learning how to not hold on too tightly to things and become attached. You're learning how to heal and grieve and do things in a more healthy way, right? You're learning how to coexist with people who have different beliefs than you and personalities and all of this stuff. So get your energy out, get the anger out. Don't keep it in. Just like you shouldn't keep your ideas in, you should network and all of these things. Don't keep your mouth closed. If you need to scream in your pillow, if you need to go to a rage room and throw things, or if you just need to speak how you feel to someone who hurt you, whatever it is that can bring about wish fulfillment or you feeling better, then I feel like you should do that, whether it's a conversation, whether it's, giving yourself enlightenment for the things that you go through, right? Because I feel like you're just building an unstoppable, I don't want to say machine, but yeah. So it's just expertise, really. So it's going in that darkness. Because some of y'all, you have to take a pause. You have to stop. You have to surrender. You have to say, you know what? I'm running on fume. My energy is drained. I'm always angry. I'm always sad. Now you've reached a point to where, hey, I have no choice but to heal. I have no choice but to go within. I have no choice but to journal or sit in meditation or reflect on the things that I've been through, right? I feel like that's the only way to get to the top anyway. And I feel like you and everybody else in the world are on this same path, this same journey. It's a self journey, even if they are not spiritual, right? Just like, remember a time when you were religious and you're no longer religious? You were praying to something of what? Jesus or whatever the case may be, whatever your religion was. And you still seen results from that. Even if later down the line you feel like, oh, that stuff is not true, or, oh, it's been tampered with. You still seeing the results. So it doesn't matter what beliefs you have, right? Because like I said, a lot of times we create those beliefs as we're on this plane with our own imagination or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I feel like you're going through major life changes in your life. Okay, Virgo energy. I can't remember what the Chariot energy is. Gemini energy. And Loki, the Hangman. I can't remember what those energies are. But Libra, Gemini, and Virgo could be significant. Mutable signs can also be significant. Taurus, we said that earlier. Amongst other signs, okay? Whether the zodiac sign is significant or the energy of the elements or zodiac signs are significant, just apply it to how it fits. Make sure you're getting enough rest and make sure you're not taking on too much, okay? You have some ideas that you were naturally intelligent since you were a child, and I feel like it's time to indulge in extracurricular activities or to put those thoughts, communications, those ideas to some use, right? You may be bumping heads with people, but I feel like you and these other individuals, you're still holding on to some type of hurt, lack, loss, or whatever the case may be. So heal that, restore your mind, body, and soul so you can show up better in your life. And for other individuals who have not done the work, you will be more, you'll be more in alignment to respond better, right? Instead of fighting fire with fire, you'll be more at peace. I'm seeing that there's two separate paths that you could go down. I feel like you know exactly which path that you want to go down, but maybe whole time you didn't see that there was a third path, right? And this path is filled with non-limiting beliefs, no restriction, right? Faith, hope, positivity, right? It's not based on, oh, well, this person is down this path, or oh, that career is down. No, it's not about that. It's about self, nothing outside of you, the humans, the other thing, but mainly self. So that means in reality, there's just that one path. It's just really based on how you're thinking, the actions or choices that you're making or not making, right? So keep that in mind. But yeah, some of you guys could have felt stuck, stagnant. Some of you guys could be at a pause right now. Some of you guys could be surrendering or encouraged to surrender. That's like trying to get this knot out, but you're steady pulling, but you're only tightening it up even more. And this is on your hand, so eventually this is going to cut off your blood circulation, etc. So you're not helping by forcing something or not thinking something through or whatever the case may be. So stop, take a pause to gain some enlightenment, to gain a new perspective, right? You could be doing this, or you're most definitely encouraged to, or this is just the path that you're on, a path of surrendering everything else. Okay, but like I said, where there's will, there is determination, and I feel like you are on this path of being very determined. And as we talked about earlier, it's a lot of self energy going on. So a lot of you guys could just be, like I said, finding yourselves and knowing what's best for you and how you want to go about something. So you know where you want to go and what you want to do, just do it. Deep down inside you have the will and determination. Whether you're consciously aware of it or not. Okay? You could be in solitude, or you're encouraged to step into solitude so that you can heal your mind, body, and soul. Reflect on the things that may have happened in the past, because some of you guys are still hurt by certain things. That's why you show up how you show up today, because something needs to be taken care of so that you can be in a better energy. Right? Confirmation with the Queen of Cups on the back of the deck. Yeah, see, I think you're recognizing your strength, or on this journey, you've come to recognize your strength. Maybe other people even recognize this. You're not the only one that sees this. But this is not about outside validation and everything else. This is about you stepping into your power and knowing what you're capable of. And then I heard even your lower aspects. So be mindful. Some of you guys don't know that you're capable of destruction and everything yourself, or self-sabotage to the point of self-destruction, etc. But I feel like this is just a time to maybe come together, whether that's networking or being in a more healthier relationships or energies, right? If other people can't do this, because like I said, I feel like a lot of times, no matter who you're dealing with, a lot of times it does take two. Like sometimes people can operate in their better energies, but if you react or if you operate from a lower spectrum, then it may encourage them to operate in that space. Not even purposely, but just because like of unhealed shadows and everything else. So this is not about giving the collective a negative message and saying, oh, cut that person off. This is mainly so you focusing on your own energy and what you can do to navigate in the world. So it really has a lot to do with your own energy rather somebody else's. Confirmation for the Queen of Cups, as I said, water sign energy, Scorpio, Cancer, and/or Pisces. This is a time to, you're naturally a nurturer, a calm, intuitive, psychic individual. But now it's time to fill your own cup. You're always pouring into everybody else, and that's just your personality. That's what you're gonna do. But be mindful of like running on E, like running on fume. And, you know, because you may show a side of yourself that you didn't even see because of all the hurt that's there and everything else. So just like how other people may take something out on you, it's not personal. It's just their own things that they're going through. So you can be the light in the world for others in a way that doesn't take away from you, but just inspires others to be in the same space as well. Because there's no point in arguing, and there's no point in a lot of things that the world does on a day-to-day basis. But it starts with self if we really want a change in the world. So yeah, give that energy to yourself. You could be somebody that sacrifices yourself for other people. Like you could be in a space to where you need healing. You need a friend and a shoulder to cry on. But instead of receiving that, you're still giving that out to somebody else. That's nice of you, but have certain boundaries, have a limit to certain things. Pull back in. That's why some of y'all crave solitude, because you pour out and pour out and pour out, but there's not a lot coming in. But you can't forget that you're supposed to be the one to give that to yourself. Nobody said you have to go around being nurturing and kind to everybody and getting mad when they don't reciprocate the energy. Not everybody can embody this beautiful ass energy. So don't be mad. Just know that not everybody received a certain type of love as a child to where they can be the person that you are as an adult. That don't mean love anybody any less. You can just validate your feelings and love yourself more. you know? If you guys don't want to get on the list, my payment options are pinned on my profile. No free questions, but you can listen to this free collective. Only take what resonates. We got major choices, harmonious relationships. Gemini energy. Yep. So some of you guys, there's some cloudy judgment going on because you're unbalanced, or you have this distorted view, or there's like illusions, right? Some of y'all probably dealt with a lot of thieves. Just siphoning your energy. They're energy vampires, right? And human beings are human beings. That's what they are. But a lot of people created energy vampires, narcissists. Everybody created these terms. You don't have to have these terms. You don't have to believe in karmic relationships and all this stuff. That's just what other people created in the world, okay? But I feel like you receive some type of clarity, some type of truth through your lessons and experiences. So maybe that's why you guys are also moving a bit differently. But you could be like off and on, hot and cold. And I feel like that's just because you're detached. That's probably why you go ghost on people. Because maybe you're just focusing on self-love, and maybe because you feel like this was the best thing for you to do. Like release people. Be mindful of pride. Or maybe you could have dealt with a lot of people who had pride. You know, they were just possibly seeking you to waste your time, knowing that they weren't going to be in committed relationships or give you what you needed, right? But I feel like you're attracting somebody that's going to be into you and pretty much only you. And I'm telling you, sometimes you probably think, oh yeah, that sounds good, because you haven't received it. But in actuality, it's people out here like that. It's some people out here who probably ain't shit, yeah. Respectfully. But it is people out here who, like, you can make it to old age with these individuals. So that's decades of loving just one person. And you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket. And you probably is a person who don't even believe in just one person or marriage. That's why I'm saying take it how it fits. But I am saying that you are attracting somebody that's going to be into you and only you. They're going to want to get to know you from the inside out. And maybe even start a family. But if you're not wanting a family right now, then just be mindful of that, because you have other people who want to marry you, have families. Okay. Maybe you could be giving somebody a second chance. Or maybe there's an opportunity coming around that has already presented itself, and maybe it wasn't the right time because maybe you weren't in the best energy or whatever. This doesn't have to just tie to relationships, but it can also tie to like career or finances or whatever the case may be. You could be taking like a risk when it comes to this, not knowing what to give or what to expect, but I'm seeing reconciliation and making amends. Okay, I'm seeing truth, discovery, and awakening. But yeah, be self-full to the point to where you're just too busy winning. Like, too busy winning to even feel your emotions are blocked, or to look at things in a way that's like giving mixed signals, right? That's why I'm saying you got to heal and take care of yourself. I'm not saying avoid the blocked emotions, tend to them, but I'm basically saying do the work that's necessary. Be self-full to the point to where you don't come into a certain space ever again, because like I said, regardless of the people who you attract, it's mainly your own energy. Okay, it has nothing to do with everybody else. You got to remember, you're the prize, you're the champion. You got a goal and a target that you're aiming to reach, and you will reach it. This is your life. You're the main character of your story, not anyone else. Be so unbothered in life that things can't hinder you like it done before. You can't become depressed again, right? Because you've lowered your expectations. You've balanced out the spirituality and practicality and maybe even psychology, right? Or maybe you just dropped every belief that you had and chose to just be free and to just live like you once done before you even knew God existed. This was a time when you possibly were a child, right? Because now you're shifting your focus into fantasizing and being a dreamer again. As I said earlier, beliefs a lot of times could be things that you don't know is true, but a lot of times they can also be powerful. So it's important on what you believe in, for sure. Remember we talked about that thief energy, okay, robbing you of your emotional or physical whatever, whether this was some type of abuse, financial loss, or whether this was someone like coming into your energy, stealing the love that you had. They couldn't reciprocate it, and they hurt you, right? So a lot of emotional loss. Thief could be looked at in any way. This could be your energy or it could be someone else's, but 9 times out of 10 when I'm doing a message for the collective, I'd like to think that my collective isn't the one dishing out the trauma, okay? But I mean, I'm just here to give the message, honey. But yeah, your spiritual gifts, you do have spiritual gifts. Everyone has gifts, okay? You may even have a gift of picking up on people who you can't fully trust, or you can pick up on tension, or when people are in secret competition with you. You can pick up on when people are fake smiling and just trying to be in your business to get tea on you, right? You can pick up on a lot of stuff. Now, I don't know if this is because of your experiences and your trauma, or if this is literally spiritual gifts, but for some of you guys, it can most definitely be spiritual gifts. You could be some type of empath. You could have telepathy. Okay, you could be clair, whatever, right? But I'm seeing that you're free because you're moving on from a lot of things. You're letting go of a lot of things, and you're loving you, or you're being encouraged to do these things so that you can be free. All right, some of you guys could have caught a case, and this could be within the legal system, or this could be some type of infection or a disease or a rash. So just be mindful. Some of you guys, you can prevent this before it happens. For others of you guys, it may be already too late. You've probably been having this for a year. You're conscious of it. Some of you guys are probably unconscious of it. So this is a sign for you to go to the doctor. Sometimes you can get a false positive or negative test. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're going to get checked between a certain window period. All right. But yeah, set your boundaries. Know that you're not missing out on anything that is going to be meant for you for surely. Okay. But this is a time of peace, balance, harmony. I'm seeing friendships. I'm seeing reflecting. I'm seeing someone popping the question. You may become engaged, whether it's soon or in the future. Okay, but overall, I'm just saying that you guys are probably under a lot of pressure. There's anxiety. Maybe there's some decisions to be made. Maybe you feel like your time is running out. Sometimes we create our own karma. Okay, sometimes we really don't have anything to worry about, but we're trying to force things in. Yes, you're the creator of your life, but sometimes you just got to let the divine and the world itself play out how it's going to play out. Sometimes we be trying to control things and put this and put that like this and navigate this and do that and do that. Hope you create more problems for yourself. Sometimes you got to just chill and know that everything will work out. Okay? But, yeah, see, a lot of you guys have pain from certain things that you probably look at as a mistake. You got to heal from the things that you experience, you know, because sometimes, I mean, if you knew better, you would do better. So you can't be beating yourself up about stuff. Some of y'all are crying over a person, or you're crying because you're not the version of yourself who you used to be when you were more happy and everything like that. But it rains, right? But the sun always comes out to shine again. It doesn't rain every day. The sun eventually comes out to shine again. And I'm telling you, the only reason why the storms come about in our life is because we create them. See, when you have peace, nothing can bring you apathy. Nothing can bring you sorrow. So that's why you're learning. That's why I feel like what's happening in this way, whether you realize it or not, I feel like this is just building you up into the version of yourself that's mastering certain things. You see how she very sharp with that target now? You know, so you went from immature, naive, gullible, within the mind, the emotions, the whatever, to advanced, right? Because of wisdom, because of the learned lessons. So just look at things from that type of perspective. If not, you're going to probably forever come into sadness, be bitter, and look at things in a negative way, have a lack mindset, whatever the case may be. Somebody can also be sad, hurt, or upset when it comes to you. They could literally be crying over you. And this could be somebody that stalks you. Maybe they get readings on you. Okay. This could be in a romantic connections, platonic connections. Yeah. But you could be ignoring someone, or maybe... I feel like mainly that's because you're just probably living in ecstasy, having a good time, chasing thrills, right? Because like I said, if it doesn't serve you or your highest good, you're not looking its way. Some of y'all like, man, bills are due, you know, this and that. But I feel like regardless, the main thing that matters is your own health. Physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, financial will come. But that's not important. That was another thing that was created by human beings. You can live and exist in a world without worrying about funds, for real. That's why if some of y'all are encouraged to learn how to grow crops and have your own garden, okay, that would be great. Because then, you know, if you plan on being in the world for another 50 years, another 80 years, you could do real good with learning how to grow your own crops. Real good with learning how to build your own shelter. It don't have to be a big mansion or a looking like type of house, you know. I come across these videos on YouTube and TikTok. They be having these bamboo sticks. They find this boondock area where there's a water source, whether it's a lake or whatever, because, you know, water, you need water. And then they find them a water source, and then they just build up whatever in that area, so they can recycle that water. That's what happens in the world you're living in right now. All that water is just being recycled and cleaned, you know. But yeah, they go into a dry area, and they probably use the water and the mud, and they mush it together. They probably get those stringed straw grass or whatever, and they mix that up in there too, creating some type of paste. They get sticks off a tree, a lot of them, right? And they make sure that it's at least like strong as bamboo. They get their mathematics on, making sure they label, like, align everything up, or whatever the case may be. They get the water from the water source. They cleanse it by boiling it, and whatever else. You know what I'm saying? So imagine knowing how to build your own shelter or home or grow your own garden. You will be set for life, and you won't need to be out here working a 9-to-5 that you feel like God is telling you not to work. You know, like I said, those are beliefs at the end of the day. I remember back then when I thought I wasn't supposed to work a 9-to-5, so I'm over here operating for my business that I have to receive clientele from in order to get paid. So it's just stress and worry and all this other stuff. You know, you got to work smarter, not harder. A lot of times the beliefs that were created is what's really hindering us in our own lives and the unhealed energy that we have. So that's why some things come off like, oh, this is bad news, or oh, bankruptcy, or oh, da-da-da. Sometimes we think we know everything, but we have to get sat down real quick and realize that we didn't know what the hell we was talking about. You know, that's why the awakenings and everything come into play. So I feel like the mistakes, everything, it all adds up, okay? So yeah, whatever you're chasing or feel like, oh, this is gonna, you know, 10 years from now, I'm gonna have my mansion, I'm gonna da-da-da. Whole time, it don't have to be 10 years from now to receive any of the things you want, whether it's within career, finance, or anything else. You can take you have all the tools and resources that you need, especially within you. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be confident, or you gotta like network with people, because sometimes it's also, yes, it's about what you know, and sometimes it's also about who you know as well, you know. See, because you could be one of those individuals who, if they come into connection with you, they'll benefit greatly, right? And vice versa. You could probably connect with somebody who probably know the things that you don't know yet, or whatever the case may be, and then boom, there you go, right? So it's billions, trillions of people in the world. We all can really low-key help one another, but I feel like the world is low-key so divided, and, you know, like, I'm getting that you got a friend in me, even if you don't know people. It's like, for sure, you remember how you didn't know your friends that you had, and the once like peers that you had, until y'all had a conversation and everything else. So just don't close yourself off from certain communications or networking and everything, because you never know, that may just be your lucky break right there. Now, I don't feel like, you know, you need any and everything, but for the visions that y'all have and the things that you want to create in your life, then it don't hurt, you know, to connect with people and share your ideas. Not in a way for somebody to steal your ideas, but, you know, that's like somebody having the funds to pay you for the idea that you have, and all you have to do is bring them that idea, and then boom, there you go. They got the money, you got the creation, right? But, you know, just use that noggin you got. You're very smart. I feel like you know you smart. Some of y'all just need to pay attention, take certain things into account. So the cards that came out for y'all: the Hangman, the Chariot, the Three of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Hermit, the Four of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment is here, but I feel like it's literally knocking at your door. But sometimes we get in the way of that, right? We low-key be getting in the way. Yeah, you be watching it. I like that type of stuff. Okay. Strategy. Use some strategy in your life. Okay. When it comes to finances, especially financial security. Okay. Don't self-sabotage on your journey. Get out of your head. Some of y'all walking around feeling like people are going to deceive you. They're liars and all this stuff. Maybe some people do have on a false mask. But you got to remember, you're trying to come into peace. Steady operating in a certain way with a certain mindset will never bring you peace. So just be mindful of how you're showing up. Is this going to create the life that you were always meant to live? Or is this going to push you further and further away from it? Wheel of Fortune. Good luck is on your side. The wheel is turning in your favor. I'm seeing stability, father figures, control, authority figures. Yep. Be mindful of haste. All right. Especially when it comes to your thoughts. Because half of y'all, your thoughts, they're negative. They're not as positive. So be mindful of rushing into something due to those hectic thoughts you have. I feel like there's a lot of thoughts coming in. But yeah, if your finances are low, this is just temporary. But if you want to take that practical approach to get yourself out of that, then you can. You have a lot of things that you can do. Stop limiting yourself. Okay? Take a practical approach to your dreams. Okay? The Empress on the back, something is waiting to be birthed, created. Maybe you're actively birthing or creating something, whether it's a baby or a brand new business or whatever the case may be. The world is in your hands, honey. The world is your oyster, honey. Play, create, exist, take up space, live. Mm-hmm. Lions could be significant. The angel number 19. You add that together, it's the number 10 or the number 1. And 1 signifying new beginnings, 10 signifying endings. So I feel like there's some endings that's bringing forth new beginnings here. All right. And a lot of times fate can lie within your own hands. Sometimes it just takes courage and bravery. Okay. The orange chakra is significant. Your sacral chakra. It says, be courageous and see your power in the world. Okay, astrology could be significant. Numerology. Learning something new, teaching something to someone. Apprenticeship could be significant. Harmonious relationships. The birth of something. On the back, we got ethereal messenger, period. This can be you or something or someone outside of yourself. I like to look at myself as an ethereal paragon, so I like how ethereal messenger came out. Some of y'all, you most definitely are, you probably like the voice you have, but not even just voice. Some of you guys, maybe you like to sing and everything else. Use your talents, use your gifts, especially because they can heal you or the world, but ethereal messenger, that means you got something to talk about and it's worth listening to. Okay, life-changing information. And this can really just be from your own wisdom that you carry or the esoteric information that you have. All right, TRINE. This is an astrology. It ties to support and inspiration. You are a person of support. You inspire. Or maybe this is what's to come. Okay, and maybe that can even go hand in hand with the ethereal messenger here. Then I'm thinking of words of affirmation. Some of you guys should do affirmations, or like I said, you being a speaker is really going to be life-changing to the world. You just have to be courageous. You know, put yourself out there, take risk, journey forward, be free. Don't limit yourself. Don't alienate yourself. Okay, put those ideas into work. Communicate. Say what's on your mind. You act like you don't have a refined intellect. Speak your truth for a lot of you guys. Okay, we got the crown chakra coming out, the color purple. We said red, orange, and purple is significant. Whatever color mixed with red and purple could be significant. Whatever color mixed with orange, red, and purple could be significant. Whatever colors those make. All right, this is angel number 7 coming out here. A lot of people can tie angel number 7 to luck, but just take it how it resonates for you. It says, this divine connection is the bridge waiting to be crossed. I'll confirm more about that later. Any more messages here for the collective? This could be the reunion of self rather than a connection outside of yourself. But as we talked about earlier, some of you guys are attracting like a connection that's filled with like love and them being focused on you and all this other stuff. We got free will on the back. That's what I'm saying. You have free will. Sometimes we be waiting for things to pop up. Like we keep ourselves in this cage and we like, oh, okay, well, this will just come to me. Or that. No, baby, it's time for you to step outside of that cage, outside of confinement. Put yourself out there. Like how a bird can get pushed off the thing and they ain't got no choice but to fly, or they gonna fall and break their neck and die. Okay? So either step outside of your comfort zone, because there's a whole world waiting for you to explore it. That's a part of your journey, embarking, right? Stop worrying about everybody else and what they gonna think. And if you make a mistake, if you fail, that don't matter. That don't matter. Pretty much possibly everybody in the world has done that. Want to know why? Because things are new to us. It does not exist. So I know that's not the reason. That should be the last reason, because that's the whole point. Everything is new. Can't be worried about things that may happen. Whole time that may not even happen, but if it does, so that's usually what comes with doing something that you've never done before. Simple. Confirm the divine connection is, this divine connection is the bridge waiting to be crossed. We got chance and opportunity. Maybe there's a chance, some type of chance or opportunity when it comes to some type of divine connection, whether it's with self or outside of self. Okay, we got the warrior coming out. Angel number 20 ties to empowerment. All right, the yellow chakra could be significant, which is the solar plexus. All right, it says call on your inner strength and stamina as you establish your place in the world. Okay, I'm going to use these to confirm this crown chakra energy again. And the crown, that ties to your knowing. This card represents infinite. Okay? You're so welcome. Thank you for the gratitude. All right, let's see. I'm going to be getting off of live shortly, you guys. So if you want to get on the list, my payment options are in the link above. And if you need to know my payments, they are posted on my page. It's like the second video that's pinned, or it's the first video that's pinned. Something like that. It's one of the pinned videos. Confirm the crown chakra infinite energy. Some of you guys are gonna know who your counterpart is. Okay? In the midst of confusion and everything else, you're gonna know. This divine connection is the bridge waiting to be crossed. Uncharted territory. Cross that bridge, honey. Confirm this divine connection is the bridge waiting to be crossed. We got freedom. Some of you guys, maybe you're freeing yourself from one situation and it's creating the path of a new connection that's going to be more in alignment with you, more fulfilling. It says healthy space and room to breathe. Freedom. On the back, guided steps to great love. Exactly what it's giving. Exactly what it's giving. It says follow the path of ascension. That's what I'm saying. We be so focused on everybody outside of ourselves and trying to change a person and getting hurt because they don't live up to our expectations one whole time. Honey, you worry about the wrong thing. You're supposed to be becoming the own love of your life, and then everything else is a bonus. Because then when you ascended and you tapped in, everything else is just going to fall that doesn't serve you or your highest good, because you won't be attaching yourself to anything. You won't be obsessing over anything. You won't be operating from obsessions, toxicity, and lack, right? So if you want to receive this divine connection, just take the steps necessary to come into that energy. It has nothing to do with somebody outside of yourself, but more so your own energy, and you ascending, you finding yourself, you growing and evolving. Okay? It's not about entrapment and lack of freedom. No, if anything, this is most definitely about freedom. Okay? So maybe some of you guys, you're needing to let go of that relationship so that you can like free yourself from something and come into whatever this is. Or maybe you need to take guided steps, the steps that you're guided to take to come into this divine connection, which it's time to work within self. Healing, growth, right? Confirm this divine connection is the bridge waiting to be crossed. What is this saying? What does this mean? What's going on with that? We got bonding. And on the back, we got power. This reminds me of passion. All right? It says, as you get to know each other, you discover many things in common. On the back, it says, the power of love is like a magnet, drawing souls together, right? Love is the most powerful energy. Any more messages about this crown chakra, infinite energy? Number 7, this divine connection is the bridge waiting to be crossed. Okay, we got boundaries. It says having sensible boundaries is important. So set your boundaries and also respect others' boundaries. Okay. Okay, we got psychic connection. It says your communication goes beyond mere words. Yeah, this is a connection. It's very, most definitely a psychic connection. Okay? It says you are worthy. Your worth doesn't depend on the other person. That's what I'm saying. That's why when you build that relationship with self and everything else, nobody can make you feel unworthy. You won't feel unloved. You won't overthink anything, etc. Right? So that's why I'm saying getting your energy together will help you come into this divine connection. It will help you be more courageous. It will help you with empowerment and knowing that there's also always an infinite amount of something, of love, of abundance, right? So yeah, this is the ethereal message that's coming through. I was talking about that ethereal messenger. All right, we got manifesting the one. Okay, so certain things that you're doing, certain steps that you're taking, this is causing you to manifest the one. It says very soon your true love will arrive. So for some of you guys, maybe you already have your counterpart in your life, and you're just being encouraged to like give the relationship a chance, because this is called the benefit of doubt card. And you know, I'm not talking about anything that was based on anything crazy, right? But relationships that it probably won't hurt to give them a chance, because maybe you see the potential, or maybe this person actually does love you and they're willing to do the work themselves, right? Because sometimes you don't come into connections with people who are made and built up like you are. Sometimes you come into connections with people who didn't receive the love as a child, but they still try to, they still have some type of open heart space. And maybe you just bumped into them and y'all met and y'all fell for each other, right? Love has no, what did they say? Love is blind, right? Anyone can fall in love. The two people that are complete opposite from each other, different paths, they're all at. For others of you guys, this is going to be someone who will arrive soon. Okay, so maybe this person will step into the energy soon, or maybe this is talking about another person who you're going to be meeting soon after you release whatever connection that you were in previously. So it really all depends. All right, any more last messages regarding this person that's the one, or the collective giving their relationship a chance, or this divine connection is the bridge waiting to be crossed? Any more messages regarding that? But we got dreams. Share your dreams together and encourage each other to make them a reality. We got confusion. It says, all seekers of truth experience confusion. Ask the divine to provide the answers you need. Okay, there go marriage. So that's the marriage. It says a marriage of souls is a union of two divine counterparts blending together. Create healthy, happy relationships. Remember, it starts with self. Stop worrying about the other person. Because pretty much everybody has their own shadows that they need to tend to and heal. Okay, we got love language, quality time. Be the witness to each other's lives. Be the witness to each other's lives. All right, but if you want your own personal message so we can get more into love, career, finance, health, general message, whatever the case may be, make sure you contact me, 346-244-2006. If you don't know my number, if you forgot, you can, I tend to tag them in some of my posts that I upload. But you can also reach me through direct messages. Everybody is able to contact me. But right now, I'm about to get off of live. Angel number 44 or 444 or 144 could be significant. Okay, we talked about angel number 20, number 19, number 7. Okay, we talked about a little bit of different things. But that's the message that I'm seeing for you guys. If you didn't get to see it from the beginning, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. All of my payment options, links to my other profiles or platforms, all of that information is in my link above. Do not get scammed. This is my only main account. I did make a backup account that I be posting on, but that's only in case this one gets banned. So it's spelled the complete same. I think the only difference is that instead of Lenisha, it's Lee.Nisha on my backup. But I believe that I put that in my profile too. Like if you click on the link and you scroll down to TikTok, you'll see 2 TikToks. So it'll probably be easier that way for some of you guys. But yeah, do not get scammed. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you for double tapping the screen, giving me the follows, the shares. All right, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe and dangerous. I return the collective's energy back to them. I release my energy back to me. Sending you all love, light, and all things grand. I do hope you enjoy the rest of your lifetime. Remember, if you're wanting to get on the list, because I'm about to get off live, you can just message me, and I can do you a private reading, or I'll just get back on live, however you want it. But see you in the next one. Bye.